Mine is to become the most extraordinary version of Kevin without forgetting what it was like not to be. That is my thing. I want to make sure I'm relatable.
To create a world-class online marketplace where anyone can access and attain the high-quality education, optimization tools, and guidance they need to maximize their own unique potential.
Next Level Nation, welcome back to another very special, as always, episode of Next Level University, where we teach you how to level up your life, your love, your health, and your wealth. We hope you enjoyed our latest episode, number 991. Your life is just a long series of choices. Today, for episode number 992, how to create your personal purpose statement. That is a tough title to get without jeffing. We hope you had a wonderful week. Happy Saturday, a little bit of strategy Saturday today. Alan, I was on the phone, and when I say phone, I mean Zoom, with somebody the other day, and I was doing a podcast breakthrough session. And I said, what's one of your favorite shows? And this person said, Breaking Bad. I said, Breaking Bad is one of my favorite shows as well. I said, what is the through line of Breaking Bad? And the person said, what do you mean? I don't get it. I said, what's the through line of Breaking Bad? And they said, I don't know, you tell me. I said, high school science teacher finds out he has cancer and does whatever it takes to provide for his family. That is the through line of Breaking Bad, right? If you were going to explain it, that's the through line. What is the through line of your life and who you are trying to become? That is what we're talking about today with your personal purpose statement. So, Alan, this was your idea. I'm going to let you lead the dance.
Way to open it, man.
I appreciate that
that's
very
really
much.
Powerful. Yeah.
Thank you.
I'll give some more through lines here just for context. What is Nike's through line? Nike's through line is they honor great athletes and they honor great athletics. The through line of Amazon.com is to help people make a purchasing decision online. The through line for Apple is to put tools in the hands of people. The right tools in the right hands of the right people really can change the world. And so everyone and everything has a through line, even if they don't know it. It's also known as a paradigm. And the idea here between your purpose statement, your personal purpose statement, that is hard to say.
It's difficult, yeah.
I was on a virtual training, so shout out to Amy. She had me on for a virtual training with 13 of her leaders in her organization. And so I'm speaking to 13 empowered women, awesome. And I said, this is going to be a buffet style training. It was set up for an hour, and it ended up going an hour and 40. And if you know me well, you know that we tend to go over time because I just want to pack as much value as possible. And so I said, listen, okay, I've spent, first of all, the title, the through line for this training was how to become the most productive and effective version of yourself. And I said, full disclaimer, right out of the gate, I've spent the last 7 years trying to figure out how to become the most productive and effective version of myself. And at NLU, that's what we do. Kevin, same deal. So we're going to take you behind the scenes. This is a buffet style training. I'm going to tell you everything I've implemented, everything Kevin's implemented. I'm going to show you it, everything the team has implemented. I'm going to show you all the systems, all the behind the scenes, the team dashboard, everything, PPT, you name it. And you can take all of it, you can take none of it, or you can cherry pick the food you want. This is buffet style. And at the very end, during the Q&A section, someone named Bonnie, who's in book club, shout out to Bonnie in book club.
Shout out to Bonnie.
Big fan. She always has questions, and she said, as someone who wants to take all of this and run with it, I tend to overwhelm myself by trying to implement too much all at once. And so if you could only pick one of the things that you taught us in the last hour and 20 minutes for us to implement today or tomorrow, to implement right away, what would it be? And I thought about it for a couple seconds, and I was like, it has to be the purpose statement. If you cannot tell me your purpose in one sentence, you probably don't have the same level of clarity as someone who can. And if you go back to Nike or Amazon or Apple or what Kevin said about Breaking Bad, everything has a through line. Kobe Bryant, RIP, he was a hero of mine. His was to become the best basketball player he could possibly be. And when you look from that lens, the whole world becomes your library to learn how to become a better basketball player. So you need to know your through line. And before we make this too heavy, because it's like, well, how do I consolidate my entire life into one sentence? Before we make this too heavy, what I want to say is this: start somewhere. Let it evolve. Just start somewhere and then let it evolve. The problem is that we are so overwhelmed by this idea that we never even start. And so start small and build. And let it evolve as you do. So I'll share my one sentence, Kevin's going to share his one sentence, and then we'll teach you how to create your own. My sentence is a little bit more intense, and I wrote it down. To create a world-class online marketplace where anyone can access and attain the high-quality education, optimization tools, and guidance they need to maximize their own unique potential, greatest level of contribution, and quality of life on their own terms. I was thinking about it earlier, Kev, and I was like, I'm always thinking about that young man or woman who's listening to our show, who like feels lost, but they're like, ooh, this is it. This is the cheat code. This is the strategy guide. This is what I needed. I think about how lost I was when I was a kid. And I always had belief, and I always had ambition, and I always had aspiration, and I had, straight A's in college, blah, blah, blah. But like, I didn't know what the hell I was doing. I didn't have the resources or the guidance or the mentors or the coaches that I needed. I really didn't. And, I certainly didn't have a father figure either. And I just remember thinking, like, if I had me, I coach a couple people in their early 20s, and I'm telling you, if I could go back and talk to me in my early 20s, it would have changed the game. It really, really would have. And that's what we want this podcast to be. So when I'm podcasting, and Kev, I know this is similar for you, maybe a little bit different, but when I'm podcasting, I'm thinking about that young, like, honestly, someone maybe in their late teens, early 20s, who's like, ooh, like, this is exactly what I always needed. We brush our teeth every day. You can improve every day. A coach in your pocket, a mentor in your pocket from anywhere in the world, completely free. And this is the sentence that encapsulates that. To have guidance in your pocket every day. We will always be there for you. I mean, that's just something special. That didn't exist when we were kids, Kev. The podcasts didn't exist when we were kids. And now here we are. I know we're listened to by people in their early 20s and below. And, I talk to high school kids often. I was just at Worcester Academy a couple weeks ago, probably a couple months ago now. And there was this one kid. There's always one kid in every class that like really resonates, at least one. But there's one that comes up to me and says thank you, like every single time. Sometimes it's more than one, but sometimes it really is just one. And this one kid was like, thank you so much. Like, thank you. And I knew, I was like, that's the one. That's the one that's going to listen. And whether this kid at Subway, he's like 16, just got his license. I talked about him on a couple weeks ago. He's going to listen eventually. And when he does, he wants to be a mechanic. He wants to open his own shop, all this stuff. Like, our podcast would help him do that. And to me, that's what matters most, genuinely, is like heart-driven, but no BS, holistic self-improvement for dream chasers. That's our through line. And so whether it's my through line or Kevin's through line or Apple's through line or Amazon's through line or whatever, you got to have a through line. You got to have a theme and let it evolve and grow, as you do.
The reason I started with the Breaking Bad through line is because on this call I had the other day, I said, we're going to create a through line for your podcast. We're going to come up with a 10-word description, and you'll never question what to talk about, because as long as it's in this 10-word description, you're good to go. This is the through line of everything that you talk about. So when Alan and I recorded this episode, we literally thought to ourselves, heart-driven but no BS, holistic self-improvement for dream chasers. Does this resonate with that message? Yes. Cool. That is how we go through every single episode. And if you had those guardrails on your life, you might live your life a little bit differently, a little bit more intentionally, with a little bit more thought, a little bit more awareness. So mine, and I actually came up with this literally right before this episode. I think I won't say I've always, but I've really understood this subconsciously recently, Alan, because I understand that, really think about it. Alan said, mine's a little bit intense. That's Alan's personality. That's how Alan is. Mine's pretty simple. And one of the reasons I want it to be simple is because I don't ever want to get overly complex. And we did that episode last week about keep it simple. Mine is to become the most extraordinary version of Kevin without forgetting what it was like not to be. That is my thing. I want to make sure I'm relatable. That's part of me. That's part of my mission. That's part of my personal purpose, is to never forget what it was like to not be who I am today. Because if you're out there, you're trying to get to the next level of your life. And if I forget what it was like when I started this journey, I won't be able to help you as much. And that, I think about that all the time. I want to be the person that I needed. Now, this is the interesting thing, Alan. The person that you needed and the person that I needed were two very, very, very different people. And that's why you and I have a wonderful thing going for us where we're catering to that and we're leaning into that part of us. But that has so much to do with every decision I make. Every DM I answer, the way I answer it, everything I say on this podcast, really, everything I won't say everything. I mean, there's obviously some things I probably just wing, but to become the most extraordinary version of Kevin without forgetting what it was like not to be. I had a conversation with somebody in the gym the other day, and this was weird for me, Alan, and I'll tell you why in a second, but I was doing an exercise, and this kid looked at me and he's like, "Hey man, are you waiting for this machine I'm using?" I said, No, I'm good, man. I'm just using this. I'm good. Do your thing. And we just started talking about bodybuilding and fitness, and in those interactions, I always try to make sure I stay grounded. And what I mean by that is when I say that I'm a podcaster, because it always comes up, what do you do? I'm a podcaster, I'm a speaker, I'm a coach, I'm an entrepreneur. People are like, "Wait, what? You're a podcast? You podcast full time?" I'm like, "Yeah, we're on track to do $500,000 this year. Like, things are awesome. Things are really good." And $500,000 over the course of the next 12 months, not this actual year. And I want to make sure I'm truthful. Yeah. And I always want to make sure that, like, I know how I would have looked at that. If I met somebody who was doing that, it would have seemed like, wait, I didn't know that was possible. And I want to make sure I stay humble in that. That's always my goal. And I'm running through this. The most extraordinary version of Kevin would do this. He would have this awesome conversation, but he would also make sure that it didn't seem like he was trying to be better than this person. I wasn't saying that to be better. I'm proud of the fact that we've created what we've created. And at the end of it, Alan, he said, "How old are you?" And I was like, "I'm 32. He's like, "Wow, man, you look really good for your age." And I was like, "Wait, what?" I was like, "How old are you?" And he's like, 23. And I was like, "Oh shit, it's officially turned where I am the old guy at the gym now." I am the old guy at the gym who looks good for 32.
Aren't you 33?
No, I'm 32. You say I'm 33. My birthday's in August. So in 2.5 months, you can say that I'm 33.
I'm so sorry. I can't wait.
I don't care.
Dude, I know. I can't wait.
But it was very interesting being the older guy at the gym now. I guess that's who I am. But to the point of that story,
you look really
originally,
good for your age.
I look good for my age.
Is that the
32.
first time you've ever gotten that?
That's the first time I've ever gotten that.
That's funny. That's really funny.
I appreciate it. I was like, "Thanks, man."
Thanks,
and I said,
man.
"Good for you, 23, like really getting after it. You're in a fitness competitor already. Good for you. That's awesome." Yeah. But the point is, it's almost like, imagine if your life was a movie. What would the one-liner on the trailer be? The one-liner on the trailer for me would be exactly mine. Alan's would be the shortened version, probably to bring personal development and self-improvement to the masses, or whatever his version is. What's yours? When you leave the house, what is the one-liner on the trailer of that movie? And I'm telling you, if that's something you think about consistently, it will shape your experience as a human being. It's going to shape everything that you do, everything that you don't do. It might seem oversimplified, and maybe it is to a degree, but I'm always thinking about that. I told Alan this today. I said, "Alan, you have to understand, I can't lose sight of what it was like to be me in the beginning. I can't. Because if I do, I won't be able to help people at the level I can now. It's just, that's part of me. That's part of my mission, and that's who I want to be. And that's something that I really, really think about consciously every single day, every time I answer a message, and I'm committed to doing even more consciously after this episode.
Hi, my name is Alexandra. I'm 27 years old, and I am in the second round of group coaching. I did it once, and I fell in love with it. I got so much help and direction and guidance. Recently, I just did a one-on-one coaching call with Kevin, which it just set me on the right path. I needed that one-on-one time, and it really helped me. So I hope you guys consider all doing group coaching as well, because it will benefit you 100%.
I want to let all of our listeners in on a little secret. And I've never shared this with our listeners before.
Oh boy.
But if you listen to us, there's one of us that you want to listen to more, and then one of us that you need more. Most people like Kevin more and want and resonate with Kevin more, but actually need to hear what I have to say. Some people actually like me more and resonate with me more, but they actually need to hear what Kevin has to say. And so just bringing the listeners behind the scenes here for a second, think about you right now. If you're listening right now, you resonate either more with Kevin or more with me. That actually means that what you want and what you need are two different things. Because if you wanted what you needed, you'd already have it. If you wanted what you needed, you would already have it. So in a weird way, if you resonate more with Kevin, what you need more of is my perspective. If you resonate more with me, you probably need Kevin's perspective more. And that's why we talk about Drive to 5 all the time. Kevin has shaped me to be a better, more well-rounded, holistic human being, and vice versa. And so it's just a fascinating thing I wanted to bring everyone behind the scenes. Kev, I thought about my purpose statement right before this. And yes, bringing personal development to the masses for sure. But this is more what resonates most deeply with me. To maximize my own unique potential and help as many people as possible do the same. Mm. And that's, if you resonate more with that, you most likely need a lot of Kevin's understanding, vulnerability, humility, understanding other people's perspective, empathy. We're leaning into who we are because leaning into who we are is what's helped each other become such well-rounded, holistic men. And of course, we're working on that every day, and we're far, far, far from perfect. And I think about that every day too. But so to bring this back to how to create your own personal purpose statement, start with whatever resonates with you, one sentence, and then let it evolve. The one that I said, that to create a world-class online marketplace, that has evolved at least 50 times. I've changed that sentence at least 50 times. And it's been tiny tweaks. It's not like it completely revamped the whole thing. But just start somewhere. The only wrong answer is to not have a through line.
If there was a song, Alan, to your life, like if you had your own soundtrack, what song would it be?
One thing that came to mind was, do you know the line from What If Marshall Mathers Never Picked Up a Pen?
Of course I do. Airplanes
Things would have been
2.
no different. Yeah.
Yep.
That is my favorite verse in any song.
Okay.
So that. What about you?
Okay. I don't know. I just asked because I was, we're doing like movie trailer. What would mine be? Maybe it might be like an Eminem, like Lose Yourself.
Yeah.
If you had whatever.
Interesting how we both landed on Eminem.
Eminem's my favorite. 8 Mile was on the other night, and I watched a little bit of it. I was like,
yeah,
it's a jam right there. Yeah, I think
it's good.
I think it would probably be something like that. If I had more time to think about it, I'd probably come up with a better, more appropriate song. But
that song in general, that song Airplanes. What is it? Airplanes
that's
version
Airplanes
2?
Part 2. Yeah.
Okay, Airplanes Part 2. That's mine.
B.O.B. Haley Williams from Paramore and Eminem.
Yeah, particularly Eminem's verse. Ever since I heard that verse when I was in college, I resonated so, like, what if Marshall Mathers never picked up a pen? What if he didn't go to a school, his mom wasn't crazy? Like, that verse is the epitome of like the what if. What if you didn't try? What if I slept through my alarm and missed Rap Olympics? Like, all that stuff. It's just that, to me, that resonates at the deepest level because it's potential. Eminem had all this potential, but he very easily could have squandered it. So, anyways.
He uses that line, too, in another song. Talks about squandering it. It's very interesting. You and I came up with Eminem. So that's maybe another good exercise for you. Think about what would your... If you were in like a 1980s, and if you're younger, you have no idea what I'm talking about, go watch Rocky 1 through 5. A 1980s montage where people are like working out and getting after it and running on the beach. What would your music be? That's a good little exercise. Yeah, anything in closing, sir?
What's your one sentence? What's your one through line? What's the one thing? Remember my old question? No, not you.
I know, I'm just
Remember when we used to ask the guests the same question?
I do.
Yours was something about...
I'll be personally offended if you do not remember.
No, I remember. It had to do with if they were to pass away.
What is the one thing you hope to accomplish before you die? I think that was my question.
Yeah, mine was... What a throwback today, huh? In general. Yeah, powerful. Mine was, what about you never changed? We grow, we evolve, we adapt, but there's something about you that never lived, never died. It's always been there. What about you never changed? And I think that's actually the through line, by the way. So when you come up with this one sentence, what's the one sentence that has never changed for you?
Fire. Next Level Nation, if you are listening to this, it is Saturday, which means we are now in June. For the entire month of June, we're going to do what we've been doing, where if you leave us a review, you screenshot it, send it to Alan or myself, we will enter you into a drawing to win a $100 Amazon gift card. Again, when you buy something or you're looking to go to a restaurant, you look at the reviews, and the reviews help you figure out, yeah, this is for me, this isn't for me. They have a lot of really good reviews. The pricing's good, whatever it may be. It's the same with podcasts, so it'll help us find more awesome people like you, and it'll help more awesome people like you find us. It's a win-win-win, and you have the opportunity to win a $100 Amazon gift card. So it is a win-win-win-win-win-win-win. So link in the show notes. Put your finger down, sir. I'm not done yet. The link in the show notes if you want to enter. I'm done now.
Okay. Kev, hold me to this.
Yeah.
I want to play that song as my come-up song at Next Level Live.
Okay.
I want to play that part. I want to play that part.
We can do that.
Yeah. Hold me to that. Seriously.
I'll hold you to that. No more AC/DC?
No more AC/DC. It's going to be that part.
Consider it
Okay. Imagine this. You're at a huge mansion up in beautiful Maine. It's summer, tail end of summer. You're in nature. You're surrounded by mountains and forests. It's beautiful. It's a 3-day all-inclusive experience. Private chef is on site. You're going to do sunrise yoga. You're going to have sunset fires under the stars with s'mores. Tail end of summer, like I already said, 5 speakers, 5 workshops. Completely transform your life in a weekend. And that is our objective. That is our purpose, is to transform your life more in that weekend than you ever have before. Labor Day weekend. The link is in the show notes. Please at least check out the landing page. It is going to be nothing short of absolutely magnificent, and it is way more affordable than you think. We have a 12-month payment plan that has made it unbelievably affordable for our listeners.
That is right. Next Level Nation. As always, we love you. We appreciate you. Grateful for each and every one of you. Tomorrow, for episode number 993... Happy Sunday. What agreements have you made with yourself? We love you. We are grateful for each and every one of you, as I just said. But when I go out of order, when I do the outro, everything gets jeffed. At NLU, we do not have fans. We have family. We will talk to you all tomorrow.
Please reach out.